We all know that dream, right? Of making it big as a musician.
Oh, yeah.
Hearing your music everywhere, maybe even selling out stadiums.
It's a classic for a reason.
Totally. And it's interesting. This EM Studios that we're looking at today, they've been a big deal in Trinidad and Tobago for over a decade now.
They even got a nod from Google for their innovative approach.
Which is amazing in and of itself.
Right.
And, it's not just about the tech, though. We're going to dive into that because it's fascinating. All right. So they've developed this 9-stage Artist Development Program that takes a really holistic view.
Really looks at the whole picture.
It's less about chasing trends and more about building a sustainable career for yourself.
Okay, so let's unpack this 9-stage process.
Okay.
Let's start with stage 1.
Right.
That they really get the music industry. They've spent the last 10 years building relationships with some major labels.
Like?
It's Sony, Def Jam, Universal. That kind of access gives them some serious insider knowledge. They know what record executives are looking for.
Oh, wow. So they're plugged in. That's huge for an artist who's just starting out.
Absolutely. It's a huge advantage.
But, okay, let's talk about the elephant in the room, or maybe the algorithm in the room.
Yeah.
AI. You mentioned they're using AI for artist development. How does that even work?
Yeah, so that's where it gets really interesting. They've partnered up with this group called the Caribbean Sound Factory.
Oh, okay.
And get this, the Caribbean Sound Factory, they use AI to actually create vocal tracks.
Whoa, hold on. You're telling me there's AI out there singing?
Pretty much,
right.
But it gets even wilder. They take songs written by, actual human songwriters, and then they have the AI bringing them to life. And they're not just messing around either. They've already got their AI-generated music on Spotify and everything.
So you're telling me I might have already listened to a song sung by AI without even knowing it?
It's totally possible. But hold on. It's not just about replacing singers with robots.
Ugh.
There's actually a method to the madness. Gregory Fernandez, the CEO of the Caribbean Sound Factory, he said something really interesting.
What's that?
He said that, AI, it's powerful, it can do amazing things. Right. But at the end of the day, it's the human element, the human touch that really makes a song connect with people.
I can see that.
So what they're doing is they're using these AI-generated songs almost like a testing ground.
Interesting.
See what kind of melodies, what kinds of lyrics really resonate with listeners.
So it's like AI market research for music.
Exactly. And then once they've identified those potential hits, they bring in the EM artists to record and release them.
Oh, hold on. Are they saying they're trying to predict hit songs using AI?
That's what it sounds like, right? That's a wild thought.
It's like something out of a movie. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Okay, so they've got AI out there like scouting for hit songs.
Yeah.
But what about the artists themselves? Where do they fit into all of this? You mentioned an artist development program earlier. What's the deal with that?
That's where the real magic happens. This program is really what sets EM Studios apart. They've got this thing called the Artist Development Stages Theory.
Okay.
It's basically like a roadmap for artists trying to navigate the music industry. 9 stages in total.
So where does it all begin? Like, what's step 1 on this roadmap?
Well, it starts with the fundamentals. Stage 1 is get your vocals recorded.
Makes sense.
Vocal development. I mean, it makes sense.
It makes perfect sense.
When you think about it, absolutely.
Yeah.
EM Studios understands that your voice is your instrument.
Yeah.
Just like a guitarist practices scales.
Right.
Or a drummer perfects their rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
A vocalist needs to hone their craft.
Right.
So they work with artists to really understand the nuances of their voice.
Okay.
The tone, the delivery, the range, how to maximize their potential.
So are we talking like vocal coaches?
They have vocal coaches.
Okay.
They have
speech therapists.
Well, they bring in experts depending on what the artist needs.
Oh, interesting. There's this one story about one of their artists, this young woman who had a naturally soft voice.
Okay.
And she thought she needed to belt it out.
Oh, yeah.
Like, those powerhouse vocalists.
I can already see where this is going.
Right. But EM helped her realize that her strength was in her subtlety.
Interesting.
And the emotion she could convey with her softer tones.
Oh, wow.
And it helps her develop that.
Okay.
And now she's finding success in a niche genre that perfectly suits her voice.
Wow. That's incredible.
Yeah.
It's all about playing to your strengths.
Absolutely.
So you've got your voice fine-tuned.
Right.
Now it's time to move on to stage 2.
Okay.
This is where EM dives deep
Yes.
into strategic planning.
Crucial.
Specifically helping artists define their target audience.
Yes. Honestly, it's a stage many artists overlook.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Well, I think they're so passionate about their music, which is amazing, but they don't always pause to ask, Who am I making this for?
That's a good question, though. It's so important.
It is a really good question.
Understanding your audience is essential, not only for marketing,
of course,
but also for crafting a message that truly resonates.
Right. You're speaking to somebody.
Exactly. This is where EM really digs deep. They understand that, talent is only part of the equation.
Right. You got to know how to use it.
Exactly. So they guide artists through this whole process of identifying their niche audience. Yeah. Who are they trying to reach with their music? What kind of listener are they looking for?
So it's not just about making music you love. It's about finding the people who will love your music.
Exactly. And they have these really cool exercises to help artists figure that out. And EM takes a really hands-on approach here.
Okay.
They actually have artists conduct interviews.
What?
Yes.
No way.
With people who fit their target demographic.
Wait, are you serious? So it's not just like theoretical brainstorming sessions.
No.
They're actually getting out there talking to real people.
They are. Imagine the insights you gain from having actual conversations with your potential fans.
Oh, wow.
What are they listening to? What are their pain points? What are their dreams? It's about making that connection from the very beginning. It's a fun way to get them thinking about their ideal audience. And once you know who you're trying to reach, you can start tailoring your sound. Which brings us to stage 3. Portfolio production.
Okay, so now they're crafting their image, their vibe.
Exactly. It's all about creating a cohesive brand that resonates with their target audience.
Stage 3 at EM Studios is all about portfolio production, creating a visual identity that truly reflects your music.
Okay.
And resonates with that target audience you've now defined.
Okay, so it's more than just looking cool for Instagram, right?
A little more. It's about strategic branding.
Okay.
Think about artists like, say, Grace Jones.
Oh, yeah.
Her bold, androgynous style was a key part of her musical persona. It wasn't just fashion, it was a statement.
Right.
EM helps artists find that visual language that speaks volumes before they even sing a note.
But you can't forget the business side of things either. Stage 4 is media kit production.
Yeah, you look professional.
Exactly. It's like putting together a really sharp resume for the music world. High-quality photos, bio press kit, the whole 9 yards.
So they're learning how to present themselves.
Exactly. The dreaded media kit.
I know, right?
I feel like I've heard horror stories about these things.
Oh, I bet. And trust me, I've seen my fair share of media kits that landed straight in the digital trash bin.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. A strong media kit can be a game changer. It's your first impression, your chance to showcase your talent to industry professionals.
So it's got to be good. What makes a media kit really stand out in EM's view?
Well, they emphasize quality over quantity.
Okay.
A concise bio that tells your story. High-quality photos that capture your vibe.
Right.
And links to your music that are easy to find and listen to.
Okay.
No cluttered PDFs or broken links, please.
So streamlined, professional.
Precisely.
Get straight to the point.
And that neatly segues into stage 5.
Okay.
Level 2 strategic planning. Now you need the team to back you up.
That's stage 5, building your dream team.
Because you can't do it alone.
No. You need managers, booking agents, maybe even a lawyer.
Oh, for sure. Navigating contracts, legalities, all that. It's a lot.
It's a business. Navigating the music industry can be daunting.
It is.
I can see why having a solid team behind you is essential.
Absolutely. EM really emphasizes the importance of surrounding yourself with experts.
Yeah.
Who can guide you through the contracts, the negotiations, the whole shebang.
Right.
They have this saying, your talent opens the doors, but your team keeps you in the room.
I love that. So you've got your sound, your look, your team. Now it's time to unleash your music on the world. Stage 6 is all about marketing and releasing your music.
Yes.
Level 3, strategic planning.
This is where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
And this is where EM's philosophy on hit songs really intrigued me.
Oh, yeah, I remember reading about that. They don't believe in trying to manufacture a hit.
Right. They believe you can't predict what will resonate with the public.
Wow.
You can have a killer song, perfect production, a great marketing plan.
Right.
And it still might not become the next big hit.
Yeah.
On the flip side, a song you wrote in your bedroom could go viral overnight.
So true. It happens all the time.
All the time.
So it's less about chasing trends and more about creating authentic music that you're passionate about.
Exactly. Yeah, this is where their philosophy really shines through.
Yeah, okay.
They believe that the public is the ultimate judge. It doesn't matter if you have this technically perfect song, something that industry insiders might rave about. If it doesn't connect with listeners, it's not going to be a hit.
It's about tapping into that emotional resonance with your audience.
Exactly.
Not just following formulas or chasing trends.
Yeah, and this is actually where things get really interesting, because this is where they're starting to explore how AI can play a role.
Because AI in music, it can feel a little bit sci-fi and maybe even a little uneasy to some people.
It can.
But what I'm gathering is that EM Studios isn't trying to replace musicians with algorithms.
No, not at all. EM believes that passion shines through.
Okay.
So they work with artists to develop a marketing strategy that's tailored to their unique sound and their target audience. But they also emphasize the importance of letting go of the outcome a little bit.
That's actually really refreshing to hear, especially in today's world where everyone is obsessed with going viral.
It really is.
So you put your music out there, now what? And importantly, the search for that elusive hit song.
Everyone wants that hit song.
Right. And EM, they really get what makes a song commercially successful. They've got their finger on the pulse. So they work closely with artists to really fine-tune their sound and maximize their chances of breaking through.
So it's about taking all that talent, all that preparation, and then finding that one song that's really going to make...
Let's take a step back. So once an artist has actually released their music, what happens next?
So that takes us to stage 7, good public relations.
Okay, so for me, when I think public relations, I think damage control.
Right.
But I'm sensing that EM Studios has a different perspective.
They totally do. It's not about spinning bad press at all.
Yeah.
It's about making those genuine connections with your audience.
Okay.
Crafting your story, communicating your brand message, really showing the person behind the music.
That authenticity is so refreshing.
Yeah.
Especially in an industry that can feel very superficial at times.
Definitely.
Now, stage 8 is stakeholder relations development.
Right.
And that sounds very formal for an industry that can be known for, you know, being a little more loosey-goosey.
It does sound that way.
Yeah.
But really, it's about fostering community. EM Studios wants their artists to understand that building relationships with everyone involved in their careers is really important.
So we're talking promoters, producers, radio personalities.
Everyone.
Fellow musicians. It's this whole ecosystem.
Exactly. It's about nurturing those connections and understanding that success in music often comes down to collaboration and mutual support.
It's about relationships.
It really does.
Right.
And EM stresses the long game here.
Okay.
Building a strong network.
Yeah.
It's not just about, that quick rise to fame. Yeah. It's about building something sustainable.
Right, because you see those artists that are here today and gone tomorrow.
Exactly.
It's like, what happened?
It's because they didn't build those relationships.
Interesting.
It's really the difference between a flash in the pan and a lasting legacy.
That makes me think about some of those artists who've been around forever, Yeah. Like the ones who just keep reinventing themselves and their sound.
Exactly. Madonna.
Right.
She's constantly evolving.
They didn't get there by isolating themselves.
No, they built a community around them.
Right.
And mutual support.
It's about relationships. Which takes us to their final stage, stage 9, international deals and AI.
It's the final frontier.
This is where it feels like EM Studios is blending the traditional path to success with the cutting edge.
Is that EM doesn't shy away from questioning the old ways of doing things.
Okay.
They actually encourage artists to explore whether traditional record deals
here we go.
even make sense anymore in today's landscape.
Okay, so are they saying ditch the labels altogether?
Not necessarily, but they present it as an option.
Interesting.
Because with streaming platforms and independent distribution models,
right,
artists have more power than ever before.
That's true.
So EM gives them the knowledge and the tools to navigate those options and make informed decisions about their careers.
That's amazing. It's like they're empowering artists to be in the driver's seat.
Exactly. And that's what makes EM Studios so unique.
I agree.
They've created this incredibly comprehensive program that not only develops talent, but also equips artists with the business savvy to thrive in today's music industry.
Which is huge.
It's huge. And it's all happening
in Trinidad and Tobago.
On an island in the Caribbean. Who would have thought?
It just goes to show that innovation can come from anywhere.
Absolutely.
And talent knows no borders.
Exactly.
So if our listener is dreaming of a global music career, what's the one big takeaway from EM's approach?
Ooh, that's a good question.
That they should really take to heart.
What's the one big thing?
Yeah.
I think for me, it's the emphasis on building genuine relationships.
Yeah.
Not just with fans.
Yeah.
But with everyone in your corner.
Yeah.
Your team, your collaborators, even your fellow artists. It's that network of support.
It's so important.
That will sustain you through the highs and lows of this crazy industry.
It's true, because this is a tough business.
It is a tough business.
It can chew you up and spit you out.
It can.
And I think a lot of people go into it thinking it's going to be all sunshine and rainbows.
Right. They think it's glamorous.
Yeah, and it's really not.
It's a lot of hard work.
It is a lot of hard work.
It's a lot of rejection.
Yeah, it's a lot of no's.
Exactly.
Before you get to those yeses.
Exactly. So don't be afraid to put yourself out there.
That's right.
Don't be afraid to network.
Make those connections.
Exactly. And you know what else? Don't forget about the power of your voice.
Yes. Literally and figuratively.
Yes. Honing your craft, finding your unique sound, that's crucial.
Yeah.
But so is defining your message.
Yeah.
And sharing it with the world in an authentic way.
It's about finding that sweet spot between strategy and soul.
I love that.
Right. You got to have both.
You dig both.
So, to wrap things up, if our listener is ready to ditch the well-trodden path and forge their own unique journey to musical success, what should they do?
Well, a plane ticket to Trinidad and Tobago might be a bit impulsive.
Just a tad.
But it's certainly an option.
I mean, soaking up those island vibes while you're launching your music career doesn't sound too bad.
Right. But for a slightly less spontaneous approach, they can always give EM Studios a call.
Okay, what's the number?
Their number is 1-868-725-3582.
Perfect. Someone's always there to chat about your musical aspirations.
Always happy to help.
No matter where you are in the world.
That's right.
Because, as we've discovered today, if you have the passion, the talent, and the willingness to put in the work, a global music career is within your reach.
It really is.
Yeah.
Don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
And who knows? Maybe we'll be featuring your story on a future deep dive.
That would be amazing.
That's right. All right, folks, that's our deep dive for today.
It's been fun.
We hope you found it as inspiring as we did. Until next time, keep chasing those dreams.